So today we are going to start the second section from the beginning. We did our 2 weeks of review, and today we're going to start with cross hands moving to embrace the tiger. Now, has everyone done the second section? Raise your hand if you have. I'm going to scroll through real quick.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we have a few new people too. This is their first time. That's great. We have a good mix. All right, so if you've gone through the first section, you're going to be familiar with the bow stance. All the footwork is the same. We're just going to add on to that, okay? So we're going to start in a neutral position. Our feet are going to be shoulders width apart, okay? So we're going to bend our knees, and this is how we start this movement. I'm just going to talk about the basics here. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see here we want to relax the waist, tuck the tailbone down, lift up from the crown of the head. We don't want to have the head tilted down. We want to have it nice and level like a string pulling you from above. In the very first beginning of this movement, our arms are crossed. The right arm is on the outside. We want to make sure that we have space between our arms. We don't want to have them too close to our body. We want to have them extended outwards. And we want to check our knee position. We want our knees in line with our toes. We don't want to have them drawn in towards the center. We want them in line with our foot position. Everyone hold that for just a moment. That looks great. Okay, so the elbows come up a little bit. I'm going to face you. We don't want too much of a down position, a little bit out to the side. Great. Okay, so you can come out of that position, and we're going to focus on the arms first. We're going to do the arms, the footwork, and then we're going to combine it all together. So we have our right arm on the outside. We're going to turn first, but we're just going to talk about the arms. So the right arm comes up, the left arm pulls down. So it's kind of like a windshield wiper. Nancy used this description. I loved it. When that right arm comes up, left arm comes down, creating the space to turn. Great. So from here, the right arm's going to make a little circle, and the left arm's going to come down and up. Good. Now let's just break it down to one arm. This one's a little bit more of a difficult movement with all the transitions. So if you put both arms up, and then we're going to drop that left arm, we're just going to do the right arm first. So it tilts upwards like a windshield washer, and then it turns slightly and comes down in front of the body about chest level here. Okay, so one more time. Right arm's out in front. We have that space between our body. We're not too close in. Extend it out, back, rounded enough. Coming up, small circle, bringing the palm down out in front. That looks good. How does everyone feel about just that part of the movement? That little circle is key. Nice, I love seeing the thumbs ups here. All right, so let's do the left arm now. So again, start with both arms crossed so that we can feel that back being rounded. Then drop the right arm. We're just going to focus on the left arm. So first it pulls down a little bit, then leading with the fingertips, arm comes down, out to the side, palm sitting up. This movement should feel just like brush knee. Make sure we have the arm extended slightly. We don't want to have it locked out, but we don't want to have too much bend. Yang form is a large frame form, so we do want to open up the joints ever so slightly. Having space between the fingers, we don't want the palm closed, little bit of space out to the side. All right, let's do it one more time. So left arm, you can start in the normal position and then drop the right arm. Pulling down slightly, then circle down, out to the side, palms sitting up. That looks great. All right, let's try to combine this together now. So bring both arms out in front, bringing that space, elbows are out slightly, we don't want them too close, closing the armpits, back rounded, armpits open, shoulders sinking down. Right arm comes up, left arm comes down. Circle the right arm, left arm moves down, and then up, right palm sitting in front of the chest. Here is the same thing. We don't want to have the palm too close to the body. Make the arm rounded enough, giving that space. Large frame here, not overextended, but not too bent. Just that in between. As you practice more, you're going to find that in the beginning we might extend too much, and then we draw back a little bit too much, and you'll just kind of keep playing with it till you find that perfect position for your body. So let's try the arms again. Crossing right arm over left, back rounded, right arm comes up, left arm down, circle the right arm, left arm comes down and then up, right palm in front of the chest. That looks great. How does everyone feel about the arm movements? Do we understand the little circles there? Okay. Does anyone have any questions on just the arm movements? I will take the silence as a no. So let's go to our footwork. Okay, I'm gonna face you at first. So the footwork, remember how we sunk down, tailbones tucking down, head lifting up, shoulders sinking down. Okay, so we're gonna move our weight to the right ever so slightly, turning our left toes, not to corner, not to straight. We want to be right in between. So if you'd like, take a look at your foot and see where it is. It shouldn't be turned all the way. It should be a little bit to the corner. Good. Now moving the weight back, relax the right foot. So our weight's in our left leg. Then we pick up and draw in, hips opening up, stepping out. Heel, ball, toe, moving the weight forward for what should be a standard bow stance. We want to make sure that our knee is over our ankle. We don't want to extend too far forward with the knees over the toes. You should be able to see your toes if you look down. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to face the same direction as you this time, so we're all moving the same way. So, sinking our weight down, feet are shoulders width apart. Toes pointed as straight as you can make them. Moving to the right, turning on the heel, turning the toes almost to straight. Not quite straight, not corner. Relax the foot, move back the weight into the left leg. Pick up, opening the hips, stepping out, heel, ball, toe. Moving all the weight forward, having that little bit of lean in the body, creating one line from the heel all the way to the top of the head. So we don't want to be too straight. We don't want to have too much lean. A nice balance in the center there. Let's try the footwork one more time. Coming into our prepare and then sinking down. Weight moving to the right leg, turning the left foot, turn the hips and the chest, relax the right foot as you move the weight back, pick up the right foot, touching, heel, ball, toe, and moving the weight forward. So here we can check our stance by drawing our foot back, next to our other one, turning on the heel. We can check to see if we're shoulders width. It's very important. If you ever feel unstable in your stance, it might be because you have a little bit of a narrow stance. When our stance is wider, it gives us more stability from side to side. How does everyone feel about the footwork? I love seeing these thumbs ups. All right, so now's when we get to the fun part of combining the hands with the footwork, okay? I'm gonna face you the first time and then turn the second time, and then we'll see what works best for you guys. So, just like before, feet totally straight as you can make them. Take a moment and look down. We don't wanna have them out to the side. We wanna make them straight. Shoulders width, giving that space in the legs, knees in line with the toe direction, sinking down. Tucking the hips, relaxing the waist, shoulders down, head lifting up. Right arm comes in front of the left, back rounded enough. We're gonna move the weight to the right. When we turn the foot, there's not very much change with the arms, so just turn the body and the foot towards the right. Moving the weight back, the right arm comes up, left arm comes down. Remember that windshield wiper position? Fingertips pointing to the right forearm center here. Moving the weight back and relaxing the foot. We're gonna continue to circle the arms as we step out and touch with the heel. Our left palm's gonna be to the straight direction, checking the space in our arms here, and then heel ball toe. When we reach the halfway point, our left palm should be in front of our left shoulder, right palm's extended out in front, and then one moving forward, one moving back. We want to have the right palm kind of around the upper thigh area. Relax the elbow, left palm striking out. That looks really good. I like when you guys hold the position because then I can come back and check and see what's going on. It's really good to see. All right, so let's do it one more time. So I'm gonna face the same direction as you. Feet are shoulders distance apart, sinking down, crossing the arms, right arm in front of left, back rounded enough. Move the weight to the right, turning the left foot and just turning the whole body towards the right. Shift the weight back, right arm comes up, left arm pulls down. Small circle with the right arm, left arm circles down and up as we step and touch. Opening up as the left palm comes to the shoulder, and then left palm out, right palm down and back. Good job. Does everyone feel that maybe they could do it by themselves if I talk you through it? How do we feel? Okay, so I'm gonna watch for just a moment so we can see what's going on because we have a lot of people that already know the form, which is great, or know the second section, I should say. So let's start in our prepare position. Feet are hips distance apart, sinking down into our legs. Relax the shoulders, but open up the back. Have that rounded feeling. All right, shifting the weight to the right. We're gonna turn the left toes, turning to the right. Shift the weight back to the left. Right arm comes up, left arm comes down. Circling the right arm, left arm moves down and up into that brush knee position, stepping out. Open up and show striking. Okay, that looks good. Let's do it a couple of more times so we can really get the feeling of this movement. Let's just do the arms again because I know the arms are a little bit tricky here. I'm going to stay close to the camera. So the arms are crossed.
You added that extra knee brush thing that we hadn't practiced before. That's what confused me.
Okay, so essentially once we get to the one point, it is like a knee brush, okay? So we're gonna go from cross hands. Right arm comes up, left arm comes down. Make a small circle with the right arm as the left arm circles down and up. And this is where we should look like brush knee. So if we turn so our bodies to the corner, it's in the exact same position as brush knee. We wanna be looking at our left palm, and then as we open up, just like brush knee, the left palm comes into the shoulder, right hand is out in front. We now follow the right palm, so we stay looking to the forward direction. Left palm comes out, right arm moves down and back. Now that looked great. So let's try to do it that same way with the footwork. Okay? So I'm gonna face you. Feet are shoulders distance apart, sinking down. Right arm crosses on the outside. Move the weight to the right, turning the left foot. Move the weight back, right arm comes up, left arm moves down. Turning, looking at the left palm direction. Heel steps out. This is one of our checkpoints here. Do we all make it? Looks good. Opening up and then showing, striking with the left palm. Very nice. So something to talk about when we do striking with the palm, we're actually striking with what we call the heel of the palm, this kind of meaty section on the corner. We're not going to turn the palm straight. Might be easier if I move to the side. It's not going to be straight. It's not going to be flat. It's going to be to the side direction here because we're showing striking with this. So you can actually press on this point. The bones all meet up here. So we want to make sure that when we're showing striking, Tai Chi is still a martial art, so we want to show the intention of striking forward. Can you see how my hands turn slightly to the corner? We're not on this edge, we're not flat, slightly to the corner. Fingertips are open. That looks great. All right, let's do it again. This is one of the hardest movements in the form. So I'm going to face the other way. So we're all going the same direction here. Feet are shoulders distance apart, sinking down. Right arm crosses on the outside. Head lifting up, back rounded. Shift the weight to the right. Turning the left foot. Our head follows the direction of our body. When we move back, the arms separate. And now as we circle the right arm and left arm circles down and up, we're looking back towards the left palm. Heels touching down, make this one of your checkpoints. Then we open up, following the right arm. We're about halfway in our stance here when our left palm's in front of our shoulder and our right arm's extended out. Then finishing our bow stance, everything arriving together. How does that feel? Does anyone have any questions?
Hi, Cheryl, it's Marion.
Hi, Marion.
Hi, I just wanted to clarify, we're doing a strike, not a push with the...
Yes, we're doing a strike.
And that's always the case with all of the knee brushes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a strike. So we're grabbing our opponent's arm and showing striking.
Okay.
But when we do the push, our palms are still in the same position.
Right.
It's still that slightly turned. They're not flat. They're not to the angle. They're still slightly turned. So whenever we're out and we're showing pushing or striking, we have that little bit of angle to the palms there.
And I just have one other quick question about the angle of the foot when you step out to the right, when you go into your stance. Are you trying to go to the side and slightly ahead with your right leg, or are you going in a, you know, like a parallel move to the right?
So we're stepping forward towards the angle. So whenever we go into a bow stance, it's a martial art, right? So we're reacting to someone else. So we're stepping towards them. So if someone's coming at us from an angle, we have a solution with it. So I'm going to do it from the side here, and I'm just going to do the footwork so you can see. I'll actually stand in this flower. It's probably a good cue. So the footwork, we're straight 12 o'clock. Then we move and we turn the left foot. So my foot is not to 3 o'clock. It's not to 12 o'clock. It's in between to the corner. Relaxing my other foot, I pick up. And if I step to the side, I would be stepping over here, right?
Right.
If I stepped forward, I would be stepping here.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to step more to the corner direction, but a little bit less than corner. So corner would be right about here. We're going to step a little bit less than corner. So it's still a forward movement. It's not a sideways to the side movement. It's not forward this way, but it's forward towards corner-ish direction.
I think I'd kind of forgotten some of that, so thank you. I needed.
You're welcome. This is one of the harder movements because the arms, there's so much going on with the arms, and then our footwork is a standard bow stance, but it's not to a standard direction. The only other time we really see this is when we're doing Partha Wild Horse's mane. And then we're stepping off of the corner or straight direction there as well. Does anyone else have any other questions?
I was busy marking my corners. Did you say the right foot steps between the corner and the center line also?
Yes, it's not quite corner, it's not quite straight, it's a little bit off. Okay, so when we do this movement, when we turn our foot, we don't turn it to straight. That would pinch everything in the hips. So it's less than straight, but more than that corner direction, right? So we're in between. So then when we step out with our right foot, it's the same thing. We're kind of going towards the corner, but it's more towards the straight direction. It's still a forward movement, but it's not directly to corner. It's a little bit off of the corner. You're welcome, Donna. Anyone else? You want to practice it a couple of more times? Okay. This is one of my favorite movements, but it's also one of the hardest movements. I just love, there's that little circle here is so important and key to the whole thing. So when we separate, right arm up, left arm down, small little circle with that right arm as we shift. That looks great. And remember, keep the space in the arms here. We don't want to have everything too close. We want to have nice back rounded space, armpits open, good energy flowing through all the limbs. That's the great thing about Tai Chi is the more we practice, the more the body becomes open and the energy and blood is flowing freely through the practice. It's one of the health benefits. You know, a lot of us practice this for the health benefits, not maybe for the martial art aspect, although every movement has a martial arts meaning. But these things like the large frame and that opening up and not really closing, but extending out, helps to have the energy and blood flow freely through the body. So let's practice again. I'll face the same direction as you. Take a moment and check our empty stance, and we're going to move through all the checkpoints here. So feet are shoulders width apart, sink down into our legs, crossing the arms, right arms on the outside, elbows slightly lifting up, but still sinking down, just not too closed. Little open, back rounded so the arms are away from the chest. Move the weight to the right, turning the left foot. Right arm comes up, left arm pulls back and down. Circling as we relax the foot, stepping out, looking towards our left palm. Heel, ball, toe, opening up with the right palm, left palm's in front of the shoulder. One moving forward, one moving back, everything arriving together at the final position. All right, let's do it one more time. I'm gonna talk you through it. I'll do the arm movements while I stand, and I wanna see what everyone's doing here, okay? So, cross hands. Crossing about at the forearms. Good, moving the weight to the right, turning the body, turning the left toes. Arms open up and separate. Right arm makes a little circle as the left arm comes down. Step and touching down. Open up the arms. Weight's about halfway. And then finishing our bow stance, showing striking. So here it's very important. We want to have the palm and the shoulder in line. We don't want to have it too high or too low. We want one nice line coming out. And also, think about it like this. We don't want to close off that arm again. We don't want to have it too open. We want to make one line. So even if we're facing the corner direction, it's still one line. I'm not closed off to the side or too open. Get used to feeling just one line striking out. And you can just stand here. It's kind of, push starts lower, but it's just straight out. Just get used to putting straight out. And sometimes if you look at a mirror, that's a good thing too, because then you can see if you're to the side or you're open. And once you get used to this feeling, despite going towards the corner direction, you'll still have that line between our wrist and our shoulder. All right, any other questions about this movement? Okay, look, Dee Dee's ready. Let's do it again. All right, shoulder distance apart, sinking down. Check your knees. Make sure our knees aren't turned in towards the center. The knees are in line with the feet. Relaxing the waist, so we don't want to have the hips sticking out. We want to tuck them down, creating one line from the tailbone up through the crown of the head. Crossing the arms, right arm on the outside. Move the weight to the right, turning on the left heel. Everything moves together. Using that waist, right arm opens up, left arm pulls down. Circle the right arm, relax the foot and step out, looking at the left palm direction. And then as we move the weight, we look at the right arm direction, and then we focus on that corner type direction, striking out, right palm comes sitting around the thigh area. We don't want to extend too much, but we don't want to be too bent. We want to find that in-between position there. Wow, everyone's finished. Posture looks good that I could see.
That really helps not looking at you, because I'm able to remember it better and do it myself when I'm just hearing. So now I have your voice in my head. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, it was one of the big things for me too, Michelle, when I first started practicing. You know, I would always look at someone. You know, it was always like this thing of following someone. I had to follow someone. But when you continuously follow someone, it's almost like your brain doesn't remember because you're always having a cue. So
Exactly.
yeah. So sometimes if you focus on yourself, and you know, while we're doing this form, you know, these movements are martial art movements, and we want to think that we're doing them against someone our own size. And there's very specific things that we should be doing with our gaze. And if I'm back here and I'm supposed to be looking at my left palm direction, but there's somebody in front of me that I want to see what they're doing, well, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing throughout the form. So once we look away and we kind of try to do it on our own, even if we don't feel totally comfortable, we're going to make a mistake. That's maybe how we learn a little bit more, and then we can kind of find the principles and follow the gaze and do all these things that are going to improve our practice. So great work, Michelle.
Thank you. I don't have enough space to work in front of the camera, so.
Oh, it's fine. We all know that everyone here is practicing, camera or not. I'm guilty of it as well, because sometimes I'm in a room that's too small, you know. Other days like this, I open up the living room and I have plenty of space to practice. All right, so does anyone have any other questions? All right, well, let's do it one more time.
I do have a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure, Karen.
I couldn't figure out how to unmute. Can you talk a little bit about the weighting, how your weight moves? I'm a little confused about when the weight's forward and when it's back as I'm turning.
Sure. So I'm going to face the side direction so that maybe you can see a little bit better here. So when we start this position, we're essentially in what is almost considered double weight, because the weight is even between our feet. Then we're going to shift the weight to our right to allow our left foot to turn almost to straight. It's more than corner, but it's less than straight. So our weight's in our right leg here. Then we're going to start shifting the weight to the left, relaxing that right foot, then all the weight's in our left leg. See how my foot's off the floor here? And then we're going to pick up and step out. We touch with the heel first, heel, ball, toe. The weight starts ever so slightly moving forward here. And then pushing off the left leg, receiving the weight in the right, we're going to move into a bow stance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that clear for you though?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anyone else? All right, let's practice one more time before we close class. I'm going to go the same direction as you. Feet, shoulders width apart. So checking our stance that we're not too narrow or too wide. Shoulders width apart. Crossing the arms, right arm on the outside, back rounded, relaxing the waist, lifting up the head. Move the weight to the right. Whole body turning, waist leading, left foot turning almost to straight. Shifting the weight back, open up the arms. Right arm comes up, left arm pulls down. Circle the right palm. Relax the foot and step out, looking at the left hand direction. Heel, ball, toe, weight moving forward. Open up the right arm, left palm in front, finishing up the movement. Striking out, relaxing the right arm. That looks great, everyone. All right, we're going to test your memory. I said I was going to close class, but we're going to test your memory. We're going to do it one more time, but I'm barely going to give you any cues. Okay? So I'm going to talk about the looking direction here, and make sure to focus on that. Starting in cross hands, moving into embrace the tiger. Looking straight forward. Move the weight and turn. Gaze follows the body. Open up the arms. Gaze is following the left arm. Stepping out. Opening up. Gaze follows the right palm and then continues to look towards that corner-ish direction. Beautiful end postures. That looks great. All right, so next week we're going to focus on the other portion of this movement, and that includes what is roll back, press, and push. There's a different variation from roll back, but I think once we get into it, you'll understand, and then it's just same press and push from section 1. All right, so this week, practice cross hands. Look down at your footwork. Take those kind of checkpoints of when we move our weight, when we step out. Focus on your gaze and lifting up, because a lot of times we have a tendency just from our daily life to look down. So try to focus on the head lifting up and relaxing the waist, and bring these things through your practice this week. And then next week, we'll rejoin and we'll move forward with the rest of Embrace the Tiger, Return to the Mountain. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I will see you when you're ready to practice on Friday. Pierre will have class at 11 o'clock. And Judy has a practice Saturdays that starts at 10 a.m., I believe?
10:30.
10:30. And you can join her for practice as well.